Okay, I had a client in the Central Valley ask me to put something together for him for his legislator. But what needs to be put together for him needs to be put together for a lot of legislators. So let's get this out to legislators that could affect your business. We're going to start by saying that the management of this program has been documented. The mismanagement of this program has been documented through 2 audits of the state auditor, several Department of Finance audits, and even LAO has weighed in with its own audits. All show problems, all show significant problems. Also, the problems that were identified in the Audit 1 and Audit 2 were never addressed. And there they talked about everywhere they looked they found ineffective management. There is going to be pressure to change this law by September 15th. We would like that to be resisted. We need one more audit to fully divulge the story. That audit needs to cover enforcement. Auditor really needs to look at what's going on in there. It also needs to look at certification, and it needs to look at their computer system, Doris. It's a giant government boondoggle, and now the system is being misused in an abusive way, and it's being used to profile Latinos. I know this because I've been involved in several hearings where this basically comes out. Not until the full story is known do we want the legislature to make changes. If you don't have the right information, you can't make the right changes. The auditor does very good work. We also want no budget bills. There was 2 previous budget bills to this program, 2013, 2014, SB 96, SB 861. Both were very detrimental for the industry. The language came from the department. It came from the ineffective management within the program. That's why you cannot listen to the department. Now we've heard that market conditions have caused a lot of closures. Well, let's correct that. There's been a lot of closures with one company, but for the most part, the independents, which outnumber that one company by 3 to 4 times. Those are the people that are serving the program. Very few of them have been damaged. However, recently there was a real problem getting checks out to all participants within the program. So the handling fee recipients, the subsidized recipients, were not getting their checks on a timely basis. Processors were not getting reimbursed for purchases from recyclers on a timely basis. Some companies were forced to close because of a lack of cash. I know one processor in a very rural area who was unable to act as a processor because he didn't have the cash to support the business, all because these checks weren't made on a timely basis and certainly on the same basis that they had been. I was getting a lot of calls. A lot of people were very concerned, and it cost the processors a lot of money. A lot of them had to borrow to continue operations. Like I say, some just shut off the business. That hurt the recyclers, especially in a place like Imperial Valley. Now, as far as the program, what one thing the auditor should focus on is how enforcement does its job. Now, I've said for years, I'm documented in their public meetings as saying that the department does not focus on education, and they don't. What they do is they focus on enforcement. They focus on reasons to put people out of business. Now they're being creative in how to prevent people from going into business. So if we look at Central Valley, one of the problems the recyclers faced in Fresno, Fresno wants to shut down all the recyclers. In the Visalia area, we had Latino Recycler apply for 2 locations, and they were denied, and it was all for bogus reasons, and eventually they allowed the same people, or one of the same people, to certify those 2 locations. But for a much longer time, the city of Visalia was not served as well as it could have been. We have handling fee recipients down in the Hanford area, Bakersfield area, Visalia area, Fresno area, all people I'm familiar with, all people that were damaged by the slowdown in payments. Also in LA, also in Imperial Valley. Throughout California, these people were damaged significantly. We need to emphasize and focus on the proper management of this program. And I can simply tell you that we wouldn't be here today had the department focused on those proper things to focus on. That was fraud. They chose to go after recyclers instead of going after the fraud. And the best document to prove that is a thing called a report of Susanville importers from Reno, Nevada in 2010. In that report, staff did surveillance. Now these people are not trained in investigations. They just kind of make it up as they go along. They waste a lot of time and money in the process, and what they do is not effective. So what they did is they surveilled over 200 vehicles coming in from Reno. Not once did they tell a recycler the material is known to be from out of state. Do not pay CRV. They did not protect the fund. What did they do? They end up going after the recyclers for purchasing this material when the law says, based upon regulations, based upon the statute, that they must purchase it. And then when they would go after these companies, they go after more than the value of the business. It's a lose-lose situation. It's typical of the mismanagement, and it's typical of the things that need to be investigated. And that's what legislators need to know if you have handling fee recyclers in your district and other processors in your district that weren't getting paid. That's what we have for today, and I hope it helps educate you. Any questions, get a hold of me. I can lay out all the legalities. Thank you very much.